Good morning, Year 4, and welcome to Tuesday's maths lesson. And as usual, let's get started by getting our bodies warmed up with a little bit of exercise. So off we go. Okay, first of all, right, you can put your neck backwards and forwards, backwards and forward, to the side, to the side, to the side, to the side. Right, let's move those shoulders round in big circles, going backwards. Okay, and then move your shoulders going forward, making big circles with your shoulders, and then repeat this now, going forward with your arms out. Okay, go around like that, and then your arms going the other way, backwards. Okay, well done. Now get your hands on your hips and do a big circle with your hips in one direction, then go back the other way. Okay, repeat that a couple of times. Okay, hope we're all getting moving. Right, okay, now what I want you to do is you're going to bend down, touch your left hand to your right foot, like that, and then up, right hand to left foot. So opposite hand to opposite foot, so you're stretching over your body, crossing down. Okay, well done. Coming up and down, up and down, up and down. Right. Okay, now, the opposite knee to opposite elbow. Okay, and if you're feeling particularly energetic, you could jump while you're doing that, like that. So make yourself even more awake and alert. Okay, well done. Right, what I'd like you to do now is step forward and bend the front foot. You're doing a lunge forward, and then with the other foot, lunge. You put your hands on your hips, lunge forward, lunge forward. A couple more times that. Lunge forward. Okay, and to finish, we'll just do a couple of big jumps. Crouch right down and up. Crouch right down, up. Crouch right down, up. Crouch right down, jump up. Right. Well done, everyone. You've got a big smile on your face. Ready to start doing some math. Okay. Okay, now just before we begin, just going back to our riddle from yesterday. If you don't keep me, I will break. The answer to that, I wonder if anyone got, is a promise. Okay, so well done if you managed to get that. I'll give you another riddle at the end of today. Okay, so today, okay, I would like you to write today's short date, 19.1.21, and the WALT. We are learning to multiply and divide by 10, 100, and 1,000. Now we're doing this today because this is going to then relate to work we're doing later on in the week to do with converting units of measure. Okay, so we're just going to learn how to do the maths of that. So if you could pause the video, write down your date and WALT, and then we're ready to start. Okay. Right, we've got a 5 a day to start off with. So if you are circle and squares, if you do the one that is up here, and if you're in pentagons or hexagons, do the 5 a day that is here. So again, pause the video, answer the 5 questions, and then we will go through the answers. So the answer to question 1 for circles and squares, what is 1/5 of 15? Hopefully you realise that you needed to do 15 divided by 5, which is of course 3. You could also, and you can see up in my diagram here, you could have drawn yourself a bar model, okay, where you split your bar into 5 equal parts and shared out your 15. And saw how much was in each fifth. And when you've done that, you will see that there is, and I'll just bring that a bit closer so you can see that there are 3 in each fifth. Okay, pentagons and hexagons, you had a similar question to do with fractions of amounts, but you had 2/7 of 28. So you should have divided by the bottom number and done 28 divided by 7, which equals 4. And then you multiply by the top number. 4 times 2 equals 8. Again, you could have drawn yourself a bar, and because the fraction you were looking at was 7ths, you would have needed to split it into 7 parts. There's 7 parts. Share out your 28 so that you end up with 4 in each section. Okay, and we want to know 2/7, so you circle 2 parts out of the 7, and you find that there are 8. There you go. You can have a look there at the workings out, just to be sure. Question 2 for circles and squares. What time is 4 in digital? Well, hopefully you worked out that you just needed to switch over the hour and the minutes, so it would be 4.20. Okay. Hexagons and pentagons, what time is 20 past 4? In the afternoon in 24-hour time. So 20 past 4 is 4:20, but in the afternoon, we need to count on from 12, 4 more hours. So you go 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it is 16:20. Question 3 for circles and squares. What is the sum of 347 add 478? So I'll do the addition here. You should have done nice column addition. 7 and 8 is 15, 5, 1 to exchange. 7 and 4 is 11, add 1 more is 12. So put the 2 in and put the 1 down. 4 and 3 is 7, add 1 more is 8. So you should have got 825, as you can see in the answer there. Okay, and pentagons and hexagons, your example, slightly bigger numbers, was 3,347, add 2,478. 7 add 8 is 15, 5, 1 down the bottom. 7 add 4 is 11, add 1 more is 12, 2, 1 down the bottom. 4 and 3 is 7, add 1 more is 8, and then you've got the thousands, 3 add 2 is 5, so you get 5,825. Question 4 for circles and squares, how many tens are there in this number? 6,743. There are, of course, 4 tens, so well done. How many tens are there in this number for pentagons and hexagons? 26,743. There are still 4 tens. Now, the last question for circles and squares, I have 345 stickers and share them between 5 people. I hope you realise that that was a bus stop method of division. So you would have written your 345 using the bus stop method, putting the 5 on the outside. You say, how many 5s go into 3? It doesn't go. Put a 0 at the top. How many 5s are there in 34? There are 6 with 4 remainder. How many 5s are there in 45? There are 9. Just have a quick check that you got that method. So you should have got the answer as 69, and it went in exactly. Okay. Children in pentagons and hexagons. Okay. You had slightly different number. You had 348, which means there is going to be a remainder. I wonder if any of you know how I know there's going to be a remainder if I'm dividing 5 by 348. That's right. We know there's going to be a remainder because multiples of 5 end in 5 and 0. 5s into 3 don't go. 5s into 34 go 6, 4 remainder. 5s into 48 go 9, but now we've got remainder 3. So yours should be 69, remainder 3. Okay, I don't want to disappoint you. So in usual fashion, work out how many you have got correct, and then you are going to have your exercises. So just add up the total that you have got. Okay, so if you got 1 correct, you need to do 30 seconds of mountain climbers. If you got 2 correct, it's 30 seconds of star jumps. 3 correct, 30 seconds of squat jumps, where you go down to a squat and jump up. 4 correct is 30 seconds of sit-ups, and number 5, or 5 right, well done, you get to choose. So off you go, your time starts now. Make sure you keep moving the whole time, jumping up and down, doing your star jumps, squat jumps, sit-ups, whatever it is. Okay, lots and lots of effort, because then it'll help get your brain focus ready for a bit more work. Okay, so you're halfway through. Some of those exercises are quite difficult. If you've got 3 right and are doing squat jumps, that is really hard. So do keep going. 10 seconds left. Well done, everybody. Really, really impressed with that. Keep yourselves going. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay. Right, so as I said at the start, we are going to be multiplying and dividing by 10 and 100 and 1,000. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is how to multiply a number by 10. Now, when you multiply a number by 10, if I said to you 7 times 10, you would know that it is 70, or 6 times 10, you would know that it is 60. But what you've actually done in multiplying a number by 10 is you have moved the numbers, all the digits, all one place to the left. So if I said 7 multiplied by 10, I've got a place value board here, and I'm going to multiply by 10, I'm going to move those digits one place to the left. So the 7 will move into the tens column, and then I fill up the gap with a 0. So my answer becomes 70. Now, when we get down to the ones, below the ones we have got, or smaller than the ones we've got, our tenths and our hundredths. And we separate our whole numbers with parts of a number by a decimal point. So just here where you can see a point on this place value grid, and you've all got one of these to have in your pack, and you do need it actually, I meant to say that at the start. Okay, you need to fill in some decimal points because that is the end of the whole numbers, and after the decimal point it becomes part of a number, a tenth, in tenths and in hundredths, and we could go a step further into thousandths. Okay, so if you haven't got the place value printed off, I can suggest that you get that. So it might be an idea for you to pause the video and get that printed off. Okay, sorry, I meant to say that at the start. Right, so look at the example that is on the board. We've got 43.9 and we're going to multiply it by 10. Now to multiply it by 10, we move the digits one place to the left. Okay, a bit of a hint, we're multiplying by 10, it's got 1 0, so we move the digits one place. So when we do that, the 4 moves into the hundreds, the 3 moves into the tens, and the number that's in the tenths moves into the ones, so we end up with 439. Okay. 689, so we're still multiplying by 10, so all the digits are going to move one place to the left. So what you do is with whatever number you get, you fill it in your place value grid, remembering that where there is a decimal point, that's the end of your whole numbers. This is where the decimal points go, you can see it there, but just before, in between the units or the ones and the tenths, that's where your decimal point goes. So we've got 689, the digits are going to flip one or move one place to the left. So our 6 goes into the thousands, our hundreds into the tens, and our ones go into the, our tens into the hundreds and our ones go into the tens. Then what you need to do, if there is a space, as you can see there is here, you need to fill that up with a 0. So it becomes 6,890. So to multiply by 10, all the digits move one place to the left. Right. When we're multiplying by 100, the digits are still going to move to the left. I wonder if anyone can think how many places the digits might move. When we multiply by 10, the digits moved one place. So when we multiply by 100, that's right, the digits move 2 places. So we've got the number 19.5. Remember the point and the 5, it's 5/10, it's part of a whole number. To multiply by 100, you are going to move the digits 2 places. Before I give you the answer to this one, in your place value grid, write down 19.5. Okay, so you're going to put the 1 in the tens, the 9 in the ones, and you're going to have a decimal point and a 5. Then see if you can see where it's going to end up when you've multiplied by 100. That's right, you're going to need to then think about the fact you're going to move all those digits 2 places to the left. Think about it as well, when we multiply, the number is going to get bigger. So you know if your number ends up smaller that you've gone the wrong way. We go to the left when we multiply by 10 or 100 or 1,000. So our 1 has moved 2 places up to the thousands, our 9 has moved from the ones to the hundreds, and our tenths have moved from the tenths up to the tens. Then again, we need to fill that space there with a 0, okay? So our answer becomes 1,950. Well done if you got that. Okay. Before I go on to that, I'll just give you one more example. So if you on your place value grid could write the number 27.4. See if you can put that number in your place value grid. Okay. 27.4. I'm just going to put that up there and move the camera slightly so you can see. Okay, 27, actually it might work better if I stop sharing. Okay, 27.4. Right, what I'd like you to do now is multiply that number by 100. How many places are the digits going to move? 2. Which way are the digits going to move? To the left, because the number needs to get bigger. So my 2 is going to hop 2 places to there. My 7 is going to hop 2 places. And then my 4 is going to hop 2 places. So it ends up there. And then before the decimal point, I add in a 0. So my answer becomes 2,740. Well done if you managed to complete that one. So just remember, do it systematically. All the digits stay together, but they all move 2 places if you're multiplying by 100. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to multiply by 1,000. So this time the numbers are still going to move to the left, but because we're multiplying by 1,000, we're going to move the digits 3 places. So 3 places to the left. So let's have a look at an example. We're starting with quite a small number, no whole number, 0.41. Okay, and so now we've got to think we're going to move the digits 3 places to the left. You put 0.41 on your place value grid. So you put the 0 in the ones column, put a decimal point, 4 in the tenths and 1 in the hundreds. And then see if you can work out what the number is going to be when you've multiplied by 1,000, when you've moved those digits 3 places to the left. Pause the video, have a try. Right, so I'll show you the answer. The 0 moves 3 places from the ones to the thousands. Then the 4 moves 3 places up to the hundreds, the 1 up to the tens, and then obviously we fill a 0 in that space. Just remember the order of the digits stays exactly the same. You don't split them up. They stay together, but they all just move up the right number of places depending on if you're multiplying by 10, 100 or 1,000. Right, have a look at 6.4. Can you write 6.4 in your place value grid? And then pause the video and multiply that number by 1,000, moving each digit 3 places to the left. Well done if you managed to move it, the 6 up to the thousands, the 4 up to the hundreds, and then filled up the other 2 spaces with zeros. So your answer became 6,400. So that is multiplying by 10, 100 and 1,000. You move the digits to the left, either 1, 2 or 3 places. So if we're going to now divide a number by 10, which direction do you think the digits are going to move? That's right, they're going to move to the right. And if we are dividing by 10, how many places do you think the digits are going to move? That's right, they're going to move 1. So let's have a look at an example. We've got the number 755. What I suggest you do, pause the video, put the 755 into your place value grid, and then see if you can divide that number by 10 by moving all the digits 1 place to the right. Well done if you managed to move the 5 to the tenths, the other 5 to the ones, and the 7 into the tens. So you ended up with 75.5. Brilliant. Have another try at 21.1. Pause the video, pop 21.1 in your place value grid, and see if you can move those digits 1 place to the right so that you are dividing by 10. Okay. Well done if you put the 1 in the hundredths, the other 1 in the tenths, and the 2 into the ones to make 2.11. As you can see, when we're dividing, the numbers are getting smaller. And now we repeat division by 100. This time the numbers are going to move 2 places because we're dividing by 100, and they're going to move 2 places to the right. So again, put a 809 in your place value grid and pause the video and see if you can work out how to divide that number by 100 by moving the digits 2 places to the right. Well done if you move the 9 into the hundredths, the 0 into the tenths, and the 8 into the ones. So you got 8.09. Okay, well done. One more to try. Oh, 6 point nothing. If you want to fill that space there with a 0, that's fine, or just leave it as 6. So I want you to divide 6 by 100. So how many places are you going to move the digits? I'm not telling you this time. And which direction are you going to move the digits? We're getting smaller because we are dividing. Pause the video, have a try. Well done if you moved your 6 2 places into the hundredths. Now we've got a gap here. And whenever there is a gap, we need to fill that gap with zeros. So it will become 0.06 or just 0.06. But I would tend to always put a 0 before just to be really clear. And finally, we're going to divide by 1,000. So how many places do you think we're going to move if we are dividing by 1,000? Yep, you've got it, 3. And if we're dividing, we're moving the digits to the right. The number is going to get smaller. So we have got this number, 7,080. Can you, in your place value grid, write the number 7,080? And then have a go at dividing this number by 1,000. How many places are you going to move the digits? 3. Which direction are you going to move the digits? To the right. Okay, pause the video, have a try. Well done if you managed to move your first 0 out, it doesn't really matter. Then the 8, move 3 places to the hundredths, your 0 to the tenths, and your 7 to the thousandths. Just to save confusion, if you wanted to give yourself an extra column here, this is a thousandths column, okay? And then your answer is 7.08. You don't really need to mention that 0. Okay, one more example, we've got 520. 520 divided by 1000. Pause the video, see if you can work out what you need to do. Well done if you put your 0 again into your thousandths column, your 2 into your hundredths, and your 5 into the tenths, and that is 0.52. Okay, right. Got a couple of examples there. Okay, I just want to see if we can remember what to do. So 0.18, put that into your place value grid. Your place value grid may be getting a bit full now. You might need to rub some of it out, or maybe pause the video and print another one off. That might be an idea. Put 0.18 in, remembering where your decimal point goes, and see if you can multiply it by 10. What I want you to do is pause the video and just have a little go at multiplying each of those numbers by 10. Remember, when we multiply, the digits move to the left. How many places are we moving it from multiplying by 10? 1. So pause the video, have a little go, and then we will see the answers. Right, hopefully you've got those answers: 1.8, 12, 56.7, and 250, just by moving those digits 1 place to the left. Okay. If you want to, I'm going to just miss those ones out for a moment, and we'll just do a couple of examples of multiplying by 1,000. So there's some numbers. What I want you to do is think about multiplying by 1,000. What do? We move the digits 3 places to the left. Pause the video, have a go answering maybe 1 or 2 of those. If you're really quick at these, answer all of them, and then I'll show you the answers. Well done if you got those answers. Okay, 2,340, 3,240, 1,800, and 2,300. Okay. Right, just a couple more practices. We're going to divide those numbers by 10. So remember, when you are dividing by 10, you can move the digits 1 place to the right. And remember, the number needs to get smaller. Just a little pointer, you can also, for yourselves, draw yourselves your own grid if you're running out of room, so that you've just get in the habit of making up your own grid with thousands, hundreds, tens, ones. That's where your decimal point goes after the ones, tenths, hundredths. If you need to, go into your thousandths. Pause the video, have a go at those. Well done if you got 1.23, 1.42, 0.32, and 0.2. We'll just have a go at dividing by 100. So the digits need to move 2 places to the right this time. Have a go at those numbers. So fill them in a grid. Again, you can write up your own grid and put them in. Digits are moving 2 places to the right. Have a go. Pause the video. Well done if you got those answers: 5.32, 2.34, 3.2, and 2.1. Right, so basic thing you need to remember: when we are multiplying, we move the digits to the left. When we are dividing, we move the digits to the right. And what I would like you to do is make sure that you remember, when you're multiplying by 10, you move the digits 1 place, 100, 2 places, 1,000, 3 places. Now, what you're going to do today is I want you to answer the questions that are in today's folder. Now, in today's folder, there are some questions for squares, there are some for circles, and there's some for pentagons and hexagons. And what I'd like you to do, you don't need to print the sheet off. You could copy, there's a couple of you have got some tables to draw, you could copy those into your books, or you could write the answer straight into your books. If you would like to print the sheets off because you find it easier, that's fine as well. Okay, so it's entirely up to you. Hexagons, if you finish those and you're finding you're whizzing through those and you're starting to spot the pattern, then there is an extension for you to do as well. Just all you've got to remember is when you multiply, the number should get bigger. When you're multiplying by 10, it only moves 1 place. By 100 2 places, and 1,000 3 places to the left. When you divide, the numbers move to the right and should be getting smaller. By 10 1 place, 100 2 places, 1,000 3 places. So good luck with that work. Obviously, if you have any problems with that, let me know. Okay, and I can see if I can help you at all. Just to leave you with the riddle for today. It is, I have a tail and a head, but no body. What am I? I have a tail and a head, but no body. What am I? So when I see you tomorrow, I will give you the answer to that. Good luck with multiplying and dividing by 10, 100 and 1,000. And like I say, if you need to draw yourself some grids that look like this, just so you've got plenty of room for working. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.